Leicester College podcast, Where I Grow Up. I'm your host Leah, and in this series we'll be taking you through different careers in a variety of industries, helping you with your different career paths. Today we're with a special guest, Abigail, who has built a career in the health and social care industry. We'll be chatting about her journey, experiences and advice for anyone looking to do a similar path. Thank you for joining us on our podcast today. Could you just introduce yourself, tell us a little bit about what you do?
So I'm Abigail and I work for West Midlands Ambulance Service as an emergency technician.
Brilliant. So we're going to dive into your sort of past and what your younger self dreamt of becoming. Did you have a clear idea of what you wanted to do when you were younger?
Yeah, so from a very young age, I've always wanted to be a paramedic. It was always something that I've always wanted to do. I mean, there was other options, but this was always something that I wanted to do. And I was the first person in my family to take on health and social, really.
Was there anyone in your family that sort of influenced your decision in going into sort of the health and social care industry?
Not really. It was, I don't know, just chose it really.
Yeah.
I think I've always wanted to help people when I was a kid, and like in primary school, like if there's anything like anyone falling over in the playground, I'd always like run over to try and help them. But then I think I've just grown up and to think it's still something in the back of my mind that I've always wanted to do. So I've just gone along and got there.
And what are your sort of experiences like in school and college? I know you didn't go to university, but sort of did your studies align with what you do now?
Yeah, so obviously I did my GCSEs, I did health and social care as a BTEC for my GCSEs as well, and then I progressed on to do a level 3 BTEC, which wasn't in like specifically in health and social, it's just in sport BTEC, but then there's elements in that unit that actually developed and you can actually get onto the qualifications that you needed to do, and that was obviously equivalent to 3 A levels when I did a BTEC. So I didn't want to go to uni, it wasn't something that I wanted to do. I just found another option. There's always options out there, you just got to find them, and you just got to dig deep for them.
When you sort of approach the transition from finishing education into sort of the world of work, how did you find that? Was it what you expected?
So, I mean, obviously I did apply for uni, but obviously I was just taken back because I didn't get into uni that I wanted to. So that was a bit disheartening, but then I was like, well, I don't really know what I want to do, because I just thought in my back of my mind, uni was always the options, like if you want a career, you have to go to uni. But then I was like, I'm just going to have a break from education because I didn't exactly enjoy education. I got through it, so well done to me. But then I was like, I'm going to go to Australia, and I travelled. And then I gained life experience from, standing on my own 2 feet when I was 18.
Yeah,
as I was going into the, adulthood basically, and you got to learn somewhere.
Did you work while you were in Australia, or did you just sort of travel around?
Yeah, so I worked in a cafe like here and there, and then like travelled from Sydney all the way up to where my auntie lives, so all by myself.
That's really brave at the age of 18, doing that on your own.
I was very homesick, but it was okay. I got there in the end.
And sort of tell us about your first job when you got back. What was it and what did you learn from it?
So I got a job in a hotel in Coventry, worked on the front desk as a receptionist, so like checking people in and out and greeting them on arrival. So like I gained like people skills by talking to them and understanding like if they were complaining, like a way to come across and speaking to them in a polite manner, because it can be difficult under those situations, like what do I say, because you want to argue with them but you can't, so it is difficult and you've got to overcome those like fears and everything. So but I was there for I think just over a year before COVID started. And then obviously I didn't go back after, because then I went on and did my course. So here we are.
And do you find that there was any skills that you learned from that really apply to your current sort of job now?
Yeah, so I find like a lot of people that leave school, like they go into a job or they don't have that people skills. It's like people don't know how to talk to people, and it's like that is the main thing. You've got to have good communication skills, because you've got to be able to talk to people. If you can't talk to people, it's very difficult to even like do a job anyway. Yeah, so working as a team as well with other people, because you're always working with a team no matter what, like whatever job you're doing. So you got to get on with them. You might not want to get on with them, but it's learning, bite your tongue and just work with them. Yeah, otherwise it will just be a difficult place for you to work in.
Absolutely. And it seems that you took lots of different sort of paths along, like your education and with travelling. Was there any major shifts and unexpected turns in that journey that kind of made you think, okay, now I want to start building a career in the health and social care industry?
So when I did my GCSEs, I didn't pass my English language, I only passed my literature. I did retake it in the November after doing it in 2016, but then I failed it again. And that kind of knocked me back. I was like, I don't want to do it anymore. I've had enough of doing English. It's obviously not for me to do English. I was like, I'm just going to carry on. But then obviously, I didn't get onto my student paramedic course the first time. So then when I took a step back and waited, but then obviously COVID got in the way. But after COVID, when I went to apply for it again, they changed the entry requirement. So the first time when I applied for it, you could have literature or language. The second time I applied for it, you had to have the English language. So then I was like, that's annoying. So I had to go to rugby college and I retook my English. That was in 2022, and I passed it the first time. So then I then applied for it again. So technically it was the third time I applied for it because I had to have a year out doing my English. So that was at night school on a Wednesday evening. And then when I applied for it the third time, I managed to get through, sailing through. So.
Yeah, and that's really good that you stay motivated through all of that. And obviously you faced a lot of challenges along the way. How did you sort of overcome that and like keep going?
Yeah, so obviously it was a challenge because it was like, brilliant, I've got to have another year out from doing a job a step closer to what I actually want to do. But I've always wanted to do it. So it's like, if you've got something that you're so admired to do, you've just got to carry on and do it. And don't get me wrong, there was tough days, and I've had support from my friends and family, like, this is the job you want to do, so if you want to do it, just go for it. Yes, it will take time, but if this is the career that it's going to be for the rest of your life, it's going to be worth it.
Definitely. Was there any point along that time did you think, I might just go down a different route, and what would have been that route if you decided to go down it?
Yeah, so the other second career option was always to be air cabin crew. So because I don't know why, I'm fascinated by planes. I track them. I've got a plane finder app on my phone. So that was the other career option because I love travelling. But then it's just like a hobby, like you like planes kind of thing. So I was like, well, if I enjoy something else, then I might as well do that as well. And so putting two and two together, I was like, oh, it's another career option that I could do. But so at least I've always had like a backup plan. But yeah, I managed to stick it, do my paramedic course.
So could you just tell us a typical day in your routine of your job? Like, what's a day-to-day look like?
So obviously every day is differently. You have different shifts. You do days, lates or nights. And obviously it is adjusting to nights, which I'm adjusted to them now. It is difficult, but obviously with your work balance and your life outside of balance as well, like it is difficult. But then you've still got to think like, do you enjoy your job? And yes, I do enjoy my job. I love my job. I wouldn't change it for the world because I'm doing what I want to do. And yes, there was been hurdles along the way, but I've managed to get there. But I mean, it takes a while to adjust to the job, but you've always got like mentors and stuff on the job with you. Like obviously you're with a qualified paramedic all the time, and people are always there to help you. Like you've got your mentors and like managers. Like they've always been supportive if you need it. So I've not had any really issues.
Yeah, and what are the sort of main day-to-day tasks, like, giving medicine and...
So, like, obviously, because I'm only a technician, obviously, there's only certain drugs I can give out. So, if they need it, we'll give them to them, convey them to hospital if they need it. But we always try and think of external paths, so instead of taking everyone to hospital, if they don't need to. I mean, on a Monday to Friday, it's easier. There's alternate pathways. We can ring the GP. If they need antibiotics, we ring the GP. But if they need to go to hospital, then we'll have to go. But then if they've got capacity and they don't want to go, we can't force them to go. They've got their own capacity and make their own choices. So yeah, that's kind of into day-to-day, like what we kind of do, treat people and help them where we can.
Yeah, fab. And what do you love most about your job, and what is maybe the most challenging to you?
So what I love about my job is, I mean, you can work with different people all the time. I mean, at the moment, I've got a crewmate, so I'm with her every day on my shifts, and it makes it such a breeze because it's like a best friend at work. Like, you're with her day and night, you tell her everything, and you just get a really good bond. Challenges, I have to say, like, members of the public, they can be challenging, and you've just got to try and support them as much as possible. And obviously, you do get odd people that are horrible to you. They disrespect you. But we can walk away because at the end of the day, we've got to put our own safety first. That's the first thing they teach you is your safety and then your crewmate's safety and any bystanders around. Because if a patient's been abusive to you, you have that decision to step back.
And that's really important.
Yeah.
So how do you stay motivated to continue and grow in your career? Obviously, you're currently doing an apprenticeship at the moment. You've got another year left. And so how do you stay motivated to keep going during that?
Yeah, so obviously, it's taken me a while to get here, but I'm nearly at the end of it. Like, I'm halfway through. So if I can get there, it's once I finish, it'll be fine. Like, you've just got to keep going. I mean, the only downside of it is obviously there's a lot of work outside of the job. So, like, coursework and exams and stuff, obviously there is those, but I'm not very good at exams, so trying to stay motivated for that will be difficult because I just struggle when it comes to exams.
Yeah.
But I'm just thinking there's always going to be at the end of the tunnel, like it's going to be there.
Yeah.
So I've just got to get there.
Definitely.
And support with, like, friends and families there as well. And people at work, like, they will support you if you need it. So there's always support networks out there for you.
And sort of talking about finances within the job, obviously there's different scales to your job within the NHS, and can you maybe sort of talk about those different scales within the job?
Yeah, so because obviously I've doing it as apprenticeship with the ambulance service, you start on like 75% of band 4, and then you get on all your unsociable hours. Like if you go out on the road, like if you work nights a certain time after 8 o'clock, you get paid differently. But once you've done your first year, then you move up a band, then you're just a band 4. So that's what I'm currently am now. Figures are different because if you're doing days and nights or over the weekend, especially over the weekends, you get unsociable hours from Saturday and Sunday. And then if you do nights, you get a bonus even more. So it depends on what times you do. But then once you qualify as a paramedic, then you become a band 5, and then you can progress to be a band 6. And then after that, you can go down different routes, which is eventually what I would like to do.
If someone wanted to enter your industry, any students that are looking to go into the health and social care industry, what sort of advice would you give them?
I was 23 when I started. Definitely, like, get experience outside of doing this job first. Like, just get a basic job, like whether it's in a shop, a restaurant, like waitressing, because you get to talk to people. You need to have the communication skills for the job, within any job really, and working as a teamwork. Like, you know, it's so important because you've got to trust one another, especially with this job. Like, you've got to work together and you've got to find that balance with who you're working with, because if you don't trust them, it's going to be very difficult for you to carry out your duties. So yeah.
And I guess it's quite like an intense and high pressure job as well. You've got to be able to act quite quickly on that.
Someone else's life is in your hands.
Yeah.
Like, that's a huge responsibility. And if you mess up, that's on you.
So it's taking that, being able to take such big responsibilities as well, and having to have that.
Yeah. You've got to own up. If you've made a mistake, you need to own up.
Yeah.
Because they'll appreciate you more if you own up and you've done something wrong. Whereas if you lie and cover it up, you've got no chance.
So yeah, so you would say like the skills and mindset that you think are crucial in this field is sort of being able to take responsibility for your actions.
100%. Yeah.
And being able to communicate and have that sort of, you know, hard skin almost a little bit for sort of those tough situations.
Yeah.
So looking ahead, how do you see your career sort of evolving? Are there any future goals or ambitions that you are working towards after this apprenticeship?
Yeah, so once I've finished, there's a team called HART, which is Hazard Area Response Team, and they deal with like heights, water, any like hazardous materials. And because I was a lifeguard when I was 17, it's something that I wanted to carry on with my skills, because if we go to a job like a river or a lake, we can't go in the water. We've literally got to wait for HART to come because they're trained. And I think my skills together with my knowledge from being a lifeguard and, you know, working around water and swimming pools, I think that's something that I wanted to do as well. And it's a bigger team as well. Like they go to a lot more like bigger jobs, but not so many, but they go to the bigger jobs. And it is hard work, but that's then something after, once I've qualified as a paramedic, to then breach off into something else.
That's great. It's good that you've got different routes and paths you can take down. And sort of finally, if you could go back and give yourself one piece of career advice, what would it be?
Quite a difficult question, because I overlook over the years, I'm like, what did I do wrong? Probably like when I was back at school, because I just used to mess around in school. Yes, people hate school, but that's what's going to get you somewhere in life. Just get down, like put your head down and just get on with it. Like, it's only for a few years. You've got the rest of your life to think of. You don't want to be, I don't know, working at a car wash. If you want to work at a car wash, fine. But if there's something that you want to do, if you put your mind to it, anyone can do it.
Yeah.
You've just got to get your head down and think, I can do this. Think positively, because anyone can do any job. Anyone can do my job. It's not difficult. You just got to put your head down and focus on what's more important in your life.
Well, thank you so much for being on the podcast today. We've really lovely having you here.
That's okay. Thank you for having me. It's been lovely.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you.